good, Cowboys Nation? Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to everybody. What's going on? How you doing, Star?
What's up, Mickey? Glad to be here tonight for episode 3 of Starchasers Girls Talk Ball. We are super excited tonight because our freaking first preseason game is tomorrow. So
That's right. That's right.
that's what we are going to be getting in today. Basically,
Finally.
game preview, people we excited for, battles, and the depth chart. A lot of stuff we got planned in store for us tonight. So go ahead, Mickey. I guess we can welcome people in the chat as they're coming in.
Yes.
Shout
Everybody,
some.
hey, it's like I said, happy Friday. Y'all know it's Friday night. Hope you guys got a drink. Hope you guys off work. If not, thank you for tapping in while you're at work. Hope you guys able to chill, ready for the weekend. Yes, welcome. And I should just go ahead and make a note right quick. As you mentioned, people coming in the chat. Eastside Herald, yes, congratulations, was the first guy in the chat tonight. Everybody give him a hand. Let's get some claps in the chat tonight. Eastside Herald being the first one in the chat.
We love when
I saw you comment and talk about some go ahead Houston. Hey, we saw them Texans beat, the Patriots in the preseason game yesterday. Congratulations. You got it. You got it. I think his name is CJ Strauss, whatever his name is. Congratulations to him and the whole Texans gang over there. But tonight we on Cowboys, so we're going to go ahead and get you out the way. Welcome, Nisi. Welcome, Sadiqa. Welcome, everybody coming in the chat tonight. Choctaw. Welcome. What's up, my man Darren? What's up, Tavis? I see you. Thanks for tapping in. Glad to see everybody in the chat. Hope I got everybody. Hope I ain't missed nobody. Welcome. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us as usual. I know we're a little bit late in the week, but we had to get some things together. So again, thank you for tapping in.
Yes, thank you guys for tapping in. Please be sure to like this video. Like it on both of our channels, on Mickey's platform, on my platform. Guys, please, it just helps us. The more you guys like the videos and share it, the more YouTube will bring it up and show it on other people's discover pages and stuff like that. So please help us out by liking this video, sharing it, subscribing to our channels if you haven't already. We would really appreciate that. And then also turning on your notification bells, guys, so that you always know when Mickey and I are going live. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Also, welcome Double R in the chat. Fam, what's up? What's up? Always in the building. Good to see you, man.
Glad to see you.
Yeah, but just like we was talking about, we got our first preseason game coming up for our boys tomorrow. And of course, well, for me, I can only speak personally. It's not like previous years where, I'm kind of disappointed to not be able to see our starters in preseason. But we actually come up on a time where we can actually look forward to seeing our young guys and our depth come up and step up and see what they can actually do. And actually, we may, get a little lucky tomorrow, seeing them kind of come up against some ones because, we heard the Jags. We heard Peterson talking about some. His star is going to get some tick tomorrow. So we're going to be able to see, potentially some of our backup guys, some of our depth guys stepping up against some ones and see what they'll be able to do.
Dang, I didn't know Peterson said that. So I guess Peterson got some cojones putting his starters out there week 1 preseason. All right, we see.
That's right. Peterson said he ain't playing. He said y'all ain't slacking off. He said y'all getting there too.
I know we better not see Dak out there. That's all I know. I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. I don't think he's playing. I think I seen that. CD. TP. Tony Pollard. I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's dressing out anything like that.
I don't want to see none of the CD. Tony Pollard. Michael Parsons.
Right. Tyron Smith. None of that.
Tyron. DeMarcus Lawrence.
And not even Tyler. Not even Tyler out there for real.
I don't want to see none of them.
I don't want to see Terrence. Go ahead, take your time, bro. Take your time.
Right. Let our backups get the tick. And this is funny because it's complete opposite. Because last year we were like, because of how the offense was looking, we were like, they need to play. You know what I'm saying? But this year I'm like, keep our starters on the bench.
I agree. I'm actually wanting to see our young guys in there today.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to see none of our vets. No thanks. Trayvon Diggs, I don't need to see none of them.
For once, I guess I'll say I'm with Steven and Jerry on this one. I'm willing to see our backup guys on this particular night.
Right. I mean, that's what we need to, because we've been having a gauntlet at training camp. Training camp has been so freaking competitive, and the younger guys are the ones who we need to see because they're the ones who are competing for roster spots.
Correct.
Our veterans and stuff like that, they're not. Our starters are not competing for roster spots.
Right.
So it's like if we do see them, we can see them. How many preseason games we got this year? 3 or 4?
3.
Yeah, so we can see them. Maybe they can have a series, maybe in week 3, just to just give them a quarter or something.
Yeah, kind of get in the groove a little bit.
Yeah, let them play the first quarter, but other than that, I did not want to see them
at all.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. Yeah, our starters, go ahead, take a breather. Y'all been blowing it out in camp. Y'all been doing y'all thing, and
right.
I know y'all been I ain't gonna say y'all been playing full strength, but we see y'all getting down in camp. So yeah, go ahead, take these breathers. Yeah, go ahead. Let these young guys step up. That's what it's for. Yeah, young guys need to show an improvement. Nashawn Wright, Jabril Cox. This is y'all time. Step up, Kelvin Joseph. We calling on y'all tomorrow. We need to see y'all. Prove something. To where we want to see y'all if y'all want to really earn this 53 right here, real quick.
Yep. At this point, it is sink or swim. So
correct.
We're gonna see who's gonna sink here in this preseason and who's gonna swim. And those who swim, hopefully you make the 53, or we at least y'all go through waivers and we can at least put y'all on the practice squad.
Yes.
But yeah, some people
and hopefully not lose anybody.
Yeah, hopefully. Because we also don't want, you also want to keep your depth as well. So hopefully, we leave injury free out of this preseason. I think we were virtually able to escape injury free last preseason besides Rico Dowdle. But I think everyone else, and Ty, remember?
Yeah, he didn't even make it the preseason,
Yeah, everyone else was able to make it through. So hopefully we're able to manage injuries and no one gets hurt. That would be great, especially our offensive lineman depth and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I agree with you, Darren. Of course, we want to see all of our starters set out, but we definitely don't want to see Mr. Tyron Smith out there playing. We just want to see him get his rest. Go ahead, rest up for them. First few games, and hopefully, I just want to put just good vibes out there that we're going to have Tyron for a good amount of this season. I understand. Yeah, I understand people's narratives about saying, "Oh, we may not have them, or we can go ahead and count them out." But I don't like to talk like that. I want to say hopefully, I'm just hoping that we can have them at least for the bulk of the season, because I definitely want to, like I said, I guess like a lot of people are saying, keep Tyler Smith at left guard and just kind of keep that line solidified and keep that chemistry going. With all our guys. Beatrice came back thankfully off that. We kind of had a scare in camp. This past week. And the same, unfortunately, not to get too into it, we saw Chuma go down as well. So we're going to need to get some chemistry going fast on his offensive line, especially before going to preseason.
For sure. I think it's extremely important. I agree with you 100%, Darren. Let's keep Tyron on the bench, and I agree with you as well, Mickey, that we just want to protect Tyron, and I do think Tyron can have. If he just misses 4 to 5 games, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want him out for.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even mind him out for just games that early in the season, or even I know we play the Cardinals early. You know what I'm saying? Like games that we don't need to stress out for. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, I think that's right. I think we can just get him for it's a 17 game regular season, so. If we could get him for about 12 of those, that'd be good. So
that'd be amazing.
If he hammy thing or something, he's got to miss a couple of games. I'm okay with that. But as long as he's not missing half of the season or majority of the season like he had to do last season, we should be good.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. On that one. And just like Miss Nixie said, she wants to see these kickers out here so we can call someone. But I think you mean kicker, Nixie, because I think we just have one, in our on our roster right now. Actually, speaking of, let's go ahead and start these slides up. Actually, our first slide. Just going off, just going over some of the news from this week. Of course, we know we kicked. Or we literally kicked Tristan Vizcaino off the team. Unfortunately, cutting one kicker, so leaving one solo kicker on the roster going into preseason game tomorrow. Now, we've seen him in the last couple of days. Pretty much being 100%, nearly 100% in almost every day in camp. So that's that's encouraging. But we did see, of course, other days where there were, at the time when they were missing, at the time where Brandon Albright was missing. So of course we want to see what he looks like in actual game time since.
Yep, and I think the last practice, is it the last practice or the practice before last this week, he went perfect. This Brandon Aubrey guy. So hopefully he's able. This is the guy from the USFL. So hopefully he's able to show what he's got here in the preseason, because I think this will be the test for him. If he hits all of his kicks and stuff like that, then the front office may still bring in a veteran, but maybe they
hope
will.
So.
I think they should still bring in a veteran regardless. But this first preseason game, I think, is huge for Brandon.
Yes.
Because
and they even
determine, right? What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say that McCarthy even said in his press conference that they were going to actually put him in game time scenarios where, they're not just going to go for 2 every time. They're going to put him in situations where they're going to want him to kick and see if he can make those kicks.
Right. And he, he's really got to prove it, because I think what he does tomorrow will determine how soon, what type of, how many guys are going to work out for competition with him and stuff like that. So I definitely think it's important tomorrow that he be on his P's and Q's at the very least.
I agree with you there, because like you said, I still think we should bring in a veteran, but
right.
we got to see how they look in these situations, and even in these situations, they're not going to be the same as as we've seen last year, as post season situations where you can be great all season and then you get to the postseason and miss 5 in one game. So hopefully we'll have some better luck this year.
Yeah, hopefully we can bring in Robbie Gold or
Mason Crosby.
Yeah, Mason Crosby. Hopefully one of those veterans who we know are proven come in and give us some help. I like the young kickers, but we need the goal of the kicker is to do your job, which is to make every extra point and then make most of your field goals. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have Money Mac. Like I would love it if we had a young kicker like that they have over there in Bengals land. What's his name? I forgot what his name is, but I think they call him Money Mac, but I can't remember.
I remember you talking about. I remember some of his plays from last year, but I don't remember his name.
Right, I love that kid. And I would love to have a young kicker that could kind of ride with us, for a couple of years.
I liked Hajralahu last year. He was making his kicks, but they cut him. I think they cut him.
Yeah, I don't know why they ended up cutting. I guess I just feel more comfortable with a vet. But I would love for a young kicker to win out. I would love that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting, a veteran. But obviously we got to have you. If you're going to be here, you got to be able to do your job. So
yes, I agree with you.
We're rooting for you tomorrow, Brandon. You better make them kicks, buddy.
Yes, at least. Oh, okay, Tavis. Okay, Tavis says his name is McPherson. Okay, so he was on the right track.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, shout out to you, Tavis. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Money Mac, yeah. I love that. And Money Mac's the one who sent them to the freaking Super Bowl. So I love the fire out of those young kickers. I mean, they be lit, but Money Mac was called Money Mac for a reason, because he was making his kicks. Like you got to make kicks. Guys.
Yeah, you saw. I forget who they were playing, but I believe it was the Vikings kicker who came through for them at the last minute in a big time game. I believe last year when they came back and tied, but I think it was the Buffalo Bills they were playing.
I think so. Yes.
I think they scored the field goal to win or something like that. I forget which game it was, but like you said, like them young kickers can come through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those young kickers. I was gonna say, I love their swag and their fire, and they be fired up about
Yes, they do, and they know. I mean, everyone kind of kind of take kind of shits on the kicker position just a little bit. Everyone kind of has their opinion. Yes, everyone kind of has their opinion on it. So when they get on the field, they're like, "Hey, this is my moment. This is what I do." Like, and it's even better to see their team kind of rally around them when they do make those really important kicks. So we may kind of shit on the position every now and then, but hey, we be leaning on them when the time comes as well. So.
Exactly, we be needing them kickers at 100%. So
right, because can you imagine if
we know firsthand?
Yeah, exactly. Because can you imagine last year if it had been on the other side where like last year it did come down to where we didn't necessarily need those kicks because we were still able to win that game. But if it was on the other side of us needing those and they actually mattered, yeah, that would be crazy.
Yep. And we did not have faith at all in the kickers in the postseason.
Right.
Even we didn't have faith in Maher in that 49ers game. Remember, he got one blocked.
Yes.
So he still had the yips. He did.
And honestly, it wasn't just Maher. Like we saw a number of kickers. Even though we brought him up, we saw Mason Crosby kind of hiccuping every now and then for Green Bay when he was with them. So all these kickers aren't necessarily 100%.
That's true. It takes a certain caliber, because you can make when the pressure is on. Like, that's what separates the good from the great, right? Like, when the pressure is on, when it's do or die, like, the most important thing is to show up in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what's most important. Because, like you said, if our game last year versus the Bucks in the postseason came down to a field goal or something, we would have lost that game.
Yes.
We would have lost that game. So extremely important. And I do think Jerry and them, that's why I'm saying it's so important for Brandon to perform tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure if he performs tomorrow, they're still going to bring in competition. But if he doesn't perform well tomorrow, he can pretty much bet his bottom dollar he's going to be out of here. Because I don't think
right. And may not get another job, especially coming from the USFL.
I don't think Jerry's going to put up with it. So he's really got to show up. Dan Bailey, we missed Dan Bailey. Everybody else said, why did we cut Dan Bailey? I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And we haven't had that type of, that's what I'm saying. I would love to have a kicker like what's the kicker over there in Ravensland?
We talk about
he's the best
Ravens kicker. He's like I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but if we had the guy who made the 70-yard field goal,
is it Tucker or something like that?
It is Tucker. It's Tucker. Like
Justin Tucker. Something like that.
Yeah, if we could have a kicker, just a kicker that can ride, a young kicker that can be with us for a couple of years, I would like that.
Yeah,
I'm actually tired. Right, I'm actually tired of having to look for a kicker. I feel like we've been looking for a kicker for such a long time.
I think since Bailey.
Yeah, and it just keeps changing like every year, and I'm kind of tired of it. So
Tucker.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer if we could find a kicker that could stay with us for a while. That'd be great.
Yeah. We did have. Did we have Nick Folk for a little bit too? We had like a year or two, didn't we? But he was being bounced around. I think we had him. I think Washington had him. I think a lot of teams had him.
Nick Folk, yeah. Isn't he the Patriots kicker or no?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A kicker just didn't even be. I think we just didn't used to like worry about it too much. But I realized we really have not had a steady kicker. I think since Bailey, and I don't remember when Bailey left. Was that after Dak's rookie year that he left, or was he? I
want to say like 2017, 2018.
Yep, and we've been looking for a kicker since. So
man. Yeah, he was on Washington. Yeah, he was on Washington for a while. Yeah, folk.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, what's the next slide? Now speaking of injuries, but so just moving on to injuries. Of course, we saw Mozzie Smith, Tyler Biadasz come back. Of course, Luke Schoonmaker come back. We saw he had just a minor setback last week, so it was good to see him back on the practice field this week. And of course, definitely kind of scary to see Mozzie Smith's name pop up on the Twitter feed.
Right.
An MRI. And I'm like, yes, right. And I had no idea he was battling that.
Yeah, they said the MRI. We didn't even know, but they said the MRI came back good. So
yeah,
that's a positive. That's a positive thing for sure. Because
and he didn't have it wrapped up or nothing.
Our first and second round pick got injury. So that's not what we like to see. But hopefully, they're able to manage Mozzie and Luke's injuries throughout the season. Because right now, obviously, they can't get surgery that will put them out pretty much for the entire season. So I think it's just something that they're just going to try to work through the entire season, and then probably do surgery, or if they need it, once the season wraps up.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because we actually kind of seen a similar situation last year with Let's Go, because he had that, like I don't know if it was a shoulder strain or something going on with his shoulder in camp, and he didn't opt to go for the surgery early. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see what'll happen with these two, because I mean it isn't like anything major. I mean, like I said, we're able to see Schoonmaker come back pretty fast from even from him being on the side to having that setback to be able to be able and actually have this week with the team. So that's actually pretty fast. And the same with Mozzie Smith. So hopefully we don't see too much of a setback. Hopefully they are able to play through, whatever they are going through. But hopefully it doesn't set them back, because like I said, well, Let's Go. I wouldn't say necessarily it set him back, but we did see him come kind of late in the season last year, and only to get one not even only one. I think he had one snap last year, I believe, maybe one game, if that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
he didn't play much at all, if any. And I would love. We want Mozzie to be. We want Mozzie and I want Mozzie and Luke to be on the field. So
me too.
It really would serve them well. Hopefully, like I said, we can manage these injuries. Because I think especially Mozzie. Now, I really want Luke on the field because I believe that. I mean, we obviously drafted him as a second-round pick. I would like to see him produce, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see him compete with Hendershot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to all depend on his injury, how he's able to manage that. What's it called? Manage that plantar fasciitis that he's got. Some people can live through it. Amari Cooper suffered from that, and he never got surgery or anything from it. But
and it's unfortunate because there's a. I mean, we have a good. I mean, granted, they may some of them may be undrafted and some of them may not make the squad, but we do have some undrafted tight ends that could be putting some pressure on his back if he doesn't get back on the field soon.
People said, I have not heard a Fant's name at all, but there's another tight end. His name has been brought up.
Stevens,
Yep, Stevens, that could put pressure on him for sure.
Yeah.
So, definitely want to see him on the field. So hopefully, I don't know how many, reps or whatever they're going to give or how many snaps they're going to give Luke tomorrow. And Mozzie, I don't know if they're going to try to manage him, like load manage him, or they're just going to let them go out there and play.
Yeah, because I wouldn't see too much. I mean, I don't think we would see too much of Ferguson or even Hendershot out there, honestly.
Yeah, we need to see Hendershot, but we probably won't see more. We need Hendershot needs all the game.
She said we need to see him.
we need to see all the game reps from Hendershot.
She said, hold up. No, we need to see him. Right.
Those drops is not going to work. And he needs as much balls thrown his way as possible so he can get comfortable. He just needs. I think his drops will stop the more reps and snaps and balls that he gets. He'll just gain more confidence. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, but
I agree.
Yeah,
and then also some of these other injuries we got. Of course, we saw Chuma go down. I believe it was not yesterday, but I believe early. It was Thursday's practice. They said he was actually favoring his knee, but he kind of tried to, try to get through practice with it, and then ended up, unfortunately, someone said close to situation tweet by Michael Gelkin said that he hyperextended his knee. So unfortunately, I don't see him playing tomorrow, and hopefully, I mean, like I believe, no, actually, he's talking about the linebacker.
Yeah, that's not good for him either because he's a journeyman. So
exactly.
Him missing time. I mean, it just gives young guys like Tyler Bass.
Yeah, I believe TJ Bass. Yeah,
TJ Bass and something We have a guy named Holman or something like that.
Yeah, I believe there's actually some undrafted that I'm not even really familiar with. That I didn't even see too much in camp.
Right. So it just gives when you miss time like that. It just gives other guys, time to shine and So I mean that sets Chuma back. He may not make the roster, but it just depends. This David Durden, we added him late, right?
Yeah, David Durden. They said he actually, went out for a catch and I guess ended up getting a concussion. I guess when he landed. And then also, unfortunately, one of our draft picks, Junior Fehoko, they said he had a shoulder strain. It wasn't too much detail about what happened or, how it happened, but it was tweeted along with David Durden's concussion. So I don't know if we'll see these two guys playing tomorrow. And I don't know what the protocols are for concussions in preseason or just how long a Junior Fehoko is going to be out. So, you know, we're going to see what happens with that.
I hate that for Junior Fehoko too, but
me too.
Junior, I think it's okay. If Junior misses time, what's up, boss? Glad to see
you. What's good, boss? How you doing? Good to see you. Appreciate you.
If Junior misses time, I think, you know, it's okay. Junior's definitely gonna make the roster. We don't really cut draft picks,
right? Exactly.
Even if they don't play, they're never playing on game day. Like, we don't usually cut draft picks, so I think Junior is fine. Now, this David Durden,
undraft, right?
Yeah,
and him and Schumer, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, with Schumer, with him being a journeyman. But my thing is, like, maybe they're waiting to see just how serious it is, because, like you said, behind him, it's mostly young guys or undrafted. So, you know, not really knowing. I mean, we already come up on the first preseason game. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to see. Look, they don't have to see what we want to see what they have tomorrow. But after that, maybe they might consider. You know, I mean, just depending on what they decide to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we may need a roster spot. You know, with Ronald Jones, he has that injury, and he's already going to be out for the first 2 games. So they just have a lot to consider with these cuts coming up.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider, and y'all forgive me, my dogs are outside.
Oh,
so I don't know if y'all can hear that, but anyway, yeah, I definitely agree. I would love to have seen Junior tomorrow, but like I said, I think he's gonna be implemented. I think DQ will try to find some ways to give Junior snaps. They may do it like they did toward the middle to end of the season, where they start giving the young guys more snaps. I think
when they start sitting the starters.
Right. Junior's probably just going to have to do a little bit of special teamwork at first before he gets most of the rest of the rotation.
Yeah.
I remember I said they're trying to move him inside. So he's competing with like Neville, Osa.
Right.
Who else? Neville,
Golston?
Osa, and Golston. Yeah. So those 3 guys.
And you know, Golston been fighting for. I don't want to say fighting for a spot, but because Golston has always been a great depth piece, but he's not going to want to be, you know, pushed aside, you know, for a roster spot. You know, he's been there for a grip. You know what I mean? So he's going to want his spot too.
Yeah, Golston's definitely fighting. He probably bulked up again. And remember, Dan Quinn added him into the lineup in the playoffs. So I definitely think he's going to have snaps. Neville Gallimore apparently has been having a great camp.
And that's what I've been hearing too. I just saw, read a little bit from I think it was Patrick No.C. Walker's interview he had with him.
Somebody else tweeted it. I don't know if it was Michael Gelkin or John Machota, but somebody said it could have even been Brian Broadus that said Gallimore has been having the best camp.
I think it might have been Broadus, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully Gallimore was one of the people I said.
Yeah, I wanted to see him last year after, because he had a few, videos in the offseason. I was excited, he was kind of getting his weight down a little bit and just kind of being a little bit more physical and a little bit more, I don't want to say shifty, but a little bit faster, you know what I mean? So we need that in the middle. So I was excited to see him last year.
Yeah,
but coming up in these few slides coming up, I didn't actually know he had I think it was a dislocated elbow a couple of years ago. So that could have been what was slowing him down.
Oh yeah. Oh, when he had, because remember that was 2 seasons ago. He got hurt in the Hall of Fame game, I think.
Yeah. They said it was against the Cardinals or something in the preseason game.
Yeah. Then remember they switched him to 1 tech, so he gained a lot of weight, and he was doing good when he came back from injury in 2021. He was actually doing pretty well, but then last year it's like he took a step back. He wasn't. I think he might have. I remember I forgot who. I think it might have been Big. Shout out to Big Game James. He did a show with Neville's trainer, who is a Dallas defensive line. He trains draft picks. And I think his name is Brandon something. And he was saying that he believes Neville's true position is 3 tech, and he was playing out of having him at 1 tech was out of position. So
and that seems to be a theme with these trenches of ours. You know what I'm saying? How they decide to do things like I think they just like to call it. I mean, not there's anything wrong with it, but they like to call it cross training. But a lot of these times you may be playing these guys out of position.
Yeah, and I think the weight probably kind of slowed him down, but I don't know. Neville, he has games where he really pops off screen, and he has games where he's just getting pushed back the entire game. So he really has to work on his consistency. And Boss, I agree with Boss. I think, all we've seen the training camp videos and people's opinions, and this guy's having a great camp and yada yada yada. But what is really exciting tomorrow, guys, is that we're finally going to be able to see with our own eyes what these guys are actually able to produce on the field, which will really tell us what we need to know, right? Because we can always take up people's opinions and stuff like that. Of this person sucks and this person's great, but at the end of the day, I keep asking people, send me film. People say Josh Ball sucks. I'm like, can y'all send me film of him getting
we need to
his
see
ass
it
beat in camp? I just don't see it. I'm like, every clip that I see, Josh Ball doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing decent.
He sucks. I'm like, okay, well, just send me some clips of Josh Ball sucking, but nobody would do it. So I don't know, but so I'm ready to see Josh Ball by my damn self.
He's definitely one of the ones I'm ready to see, because
I'm like, let's see him tomorrow, because he's the one who's been getting majority of the reps.
Exactly, at guard. Yeah,
Patrick No C said that Mike's seemed to not be as high on him, and that maybe the other backup guard, I think Holloman or something like that.
Brock Hoffman or something like that.
Yeah, he was like,
They said he was getting a lot of snaps, I believe, this week.
Yeah, they were like maybe Brock Hoffman, but when I saw the clips with the first team this week, just yesterday, it was Josh Ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess they just gonna.
Maybe they're just alternating.
Yeah, Solari's just gonna rotate them in, and I guess whoever produces is who's gonna win the spot. I'm assuming.
We know still not getting in there. So you know what I'm saying? So
no, we definitely should not have Steele on the field. It's probably the lineup tomorrow is gonna be probably Walesko right tackle, starting Walesko, Josh Ball.
Mm-hmm. I would think I'll probably. Do you think they'll put in Hoffman, or do you think they put in Brock, or do you think they put in Farniak at center?
Probably Farniak. They're probably gonna put Farniak at backup center.
Actually, speaking of, let's go ahead and
go to the depth chart here, guys.
Yeah.
Nisi, Josh Ball, I don't think he usually gets trashed at camp. It's mostly what he does. Josh Ball really got his bad rep from last preseason, and when he had to go in at who went down and he almost got that killed. Was that the Texans game?
I think it was, when Steele went down.
Yeah.
And they moved. I think that's when they moved Tyron to right tackle.
People hate Josh Ball, and it's just because he doesn't have the feet to play tackle, guys. Like, that's just the bottom line. He does not have the feet to play on an island. Hence why they kicked him inside.
And I think that's why it took Walesko a good ways to get his feet together too, because he was doing this in the camp, but every now and then he was getting pushed back into Dak's lap and kind of losing his footing and kind of falling back, like kind of on his heels. You know what I mean? So I think it's just he has to get his feet together, because he has that position down. He just I think he just like Ball. I think he just needs the game time reps to get the feel of the game in.
Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see. Well, we can check out this. What you think about this unofficial depth chart?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I mean, of course, my first thought was seeing Simi just so high, I understand, because I believe they gave Simi this position because of his time there. He's going to his third year. I think I really just believe they want to give him a chance, because based off what I've seen, just for what I've seen in camp personally, and then just hearing the news following that, I understand he's had a lot of blips, and usually he can kind of hang his hat, because he's usually turning up in camp, and then it's in the game time where we see him kind of falter out. So I'm hoping he can get in this game tomorrow, against these DBs, and kind of because with them going against the ones, I mean, we'll see if he starts. I mean, of course, he's right behind CD, so we're definitely gonna see him start, in some capacity. So
he should start. Simi had a good camp last camp. Last camp, not this camp. He had a good camp
exactly.
Camp, and he was actually the only wide receiver, or one of the only wide receivers to even score in the preseason. So Simi hasn't always been bad. You know what I'm saying? What's up, James?
Right.
Glad to see you in the chat. This year he got the injury and he's taken a step back. I'm hoping that he's able to push forward
Me too.
and be able to produce, because if he doesn't, he has two guys on his heels for that wide receiver 4 spot in Tolbert and Turpin.
Right.
Because
Right.
Mike has made it clear that Turpin, they're not even going to play Turpin at any he won't be doing any kick or punt return
Returns. Right.
in the preseason. He will be a wide receiver.
Right.
So Simi's really, really got to step up. I don't know necessarily if he's going to get cut. They may try to stash him again like they did last year. Like
you think so?
They might. I really think the coaches like Simi a lot. I think the locker room likes him a lot. However, you do have these young guys like Jalen Brooks.
Yes.
Jalen Brooks.
There's a lot of guys trying to break through.
Yeah, Jalen Brooks has been killing camp. So
yes. And even I mean, they have Dontario listed there. Like I wouldn't say like, I mean, I know from my time there, I seen him, making a few plays here. Now he wasn't like blowing up like Brooks, but he was like, I mean, sometimes it can be a matter of whether you're making those catches or not. And Dontario was definitely making those catches while, there were times where Simi wasn't.
Well, that's I didn't even know. We hadn't heard Dontario's name, but I mean, you were there on the campground, so you saw with your own two eyes. So Simi, he's got to produce. He's got to produce tomorrow,
absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
he's really taking. He's really going to take a step back here on this depth chart for sure. If he doesn't show up bigly as our
and I would hate to see him like I mean I would hate to see I hate to see him stash, and I would hate to see him not produce, because like I said, you have him for so long. And even because I even just got because I was already, I'm gonna say, kind of off of him, but I wasn't really looking at him. Like I was kind of looking at our new draft picks, and even I was even more excited for Turpin at the time. And then seeing the interview where he did shout out to Justin Navarez doing doing an interview with Simi saying he came from Stanford, just wants to do, this West Coast offense. Like, I was hyped up for him again to be able to, have his chance to be able to stand out again. But,
yeah, and he did he did the interview with Kevin Gray. So,
yes,
I'm disappointed in the camp that he's been having so far. But hey, Simi, if you're watching this, you got a chance to turn it around. So I hope, hopefully, he's able to turn it around.
And against some ones, not just backups. So you have to stand on if you do it against some ones.
Yeah, he's really got to show up here. Now, where this is, so it looks like they have Hoffman as backup center. Is that right? What my eyes are seeing?
Yeah, it does. So it's going to be Hoffman, and Farniak is actually backup left guard. So he's going to be a left guard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he'll be left guard. So we're actually going to see Brock Hoffman tomorrow at this center position. So we'll have to see. That's something that I would be watching out for, guys. The backup center position. Definitely.
It looks like Earl. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I really haven't done like much research or know who Earl Bostic is, and he's the one listed behind Chuma Edoga, so number 64. So I guess it looks like we're going to see him at backup left tackle.
I guess so.
I know we're not going to see Tyron.
We're going to see, yeah, because Chuma's out, and we want to see Tyron. So,
or maybe they might. I mean, I don't know, because I mean, do you know? I mean, because I don't think I saw. Well, I don't know if Richards maybe was doing any snaps at tackle.
I didn't see Richards at all. I have not heard. But remember, it's what we talked about. We haven't heard much about the offensive lineman at all. So
right, exactly.
If y'all want to zero in on something, zero in on the offensive line, because this is going to be the first time we're actually able to really see them get reps. All of them should get reps tomorrow. Obviously, the ones behind the starters will probably get majority of the reps, but you're definitely going to see Awesome tomorrow. You should see, like I said, TJ Bass. All of these guys should get some reps. So look out for them. Looks like Sean McEwen will be tomorrow.
So it looks like, yes, like you said, we probably end up seeing a little bit of Hendershot. Maybe he'll get like a series or two, and then they'll stick McKeon in
Then
there. They'll get
we have
Schoonmaker in there.
McKeon, Shoemaker, Seth
Yeah,
Green, John Stevens. So we
yeah,
should see all those guys. Turpin, Dennis Houston for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Tolbert for
Cropper.
sure.
Yeah,
Tyron,
Tolbert for sure too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there's Tyron Johnson. I think we signed him. Was that the guy?
I
He was
think,
like a former Charger, I think, or no?
yeah, I think he was on either Chargers or Dolphins, something like that. I keep wanting to say Dolphins,
Yeah.
but yeah, something like that.
And one thing I hadn't talked about is the backup QB battle. I just thought about that right now. I'm like, in my previous show that I did this week, I had put the battle, so watch out for it. I'm like, I didn't even think about the quarterback battle, but
yeah, I haven't been thinking about it at all.
There is a quarterback 2 battle between Cooper Rush and Will Grier. Apparently, Will Grier has been having a great camp, but people said Cooper Rush has also been having a great camp. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see who wins out of that battle. I know who we would prefer to see. Key says Mike said Farniok is a center.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know. That's what I would have expected Farniok to be the backup, but I don't know. We're gonna have to just see tomorrow who they roll out there, guys.
Yeah, because that's what that was my first thought too when I asked you. Like, I figured he would just go on that center if Biagers wasn't gonna be out there.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just gonna have to see how they roll out. We should be looking. I'm really excited for that quarterback 2 battle.
Yeah, me too.
I know I prefer for Will Grier to take over for Cooper Rush, not because I don't like Cooper Rush, but just because I think Will Grier. Actually, I know Will Grier is more athletic than Cooper Rush, and so it would be great for us if we had a quarterback that was able to be mobile like Dak. Right? You want your backup quarterback to be able to mirror your starting quarterback, but obviously they just have lesser arm talent. So hopefully. Speaking of, did y'all see what was his name? He played for UCLA. He plays for the Browns now. He balled out. I'm like, damn, I wish we could have got him. What's that young kid's name?
I forget, was it Mond or something like that?
No, not Mond.
Oh, not Mond. Oh, then I don't know.
God, what's his name? The young kid, but he was balling out. He balled out for the Browns in that Hall of Fame game. If y'all know his name, put it in the chat. I was like, dang, I wish we could have got that young kid to come in and compete. Or even got I know this is old news, you know. Or we could go what is it? What was that other kid's name? Because they just brought in another in the what's his name? Henderson? The guy who played for University of Tennessee. What is his name? You remember?
Oh, I know you talking about that's my dad's team. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember none of the draft picks' name, but they brought in another quarterback to compete with those.
Yeah, because I thought they had brought in someone from Tennessee, but I thought he was undrafted, but I was wondering where he was at. I know they brought in at least one undrafted quarterback. Oh, Hooker. Yeah. Cole says Hooker.
Hendon Hooker. Yep. Hendon Hooker.
Exactly. Thank you, Cole. Shout out to Cole.
The Lions just signed another veteran quarterback to come and compete. So I was like, that's interesting.
You said the Lions?
Yeah, because Hooker's on the Lions now. And so people were thinking that he was going to compete with Jared Goff. But they just signed another
Teddy?
Yep. They just
Bridgewater. Yeah.
So I was like, that's interesting. That was an interesting move, but whatever. But
because I was actually glad to see. I was like, because I mean, not that I'd be wanting Teddy, but he's athletic, but I just hate that. Like, there's times he just stays hurt sometimes, and I hate that for him. Like, I just feel that for him and like Tyrod Taylor, but they just stay hurt. But they're
Tyrod, Jacoby Brissett. Those are what you call. Those are like the cream of the crop that you can get as a quarterback too, because they definitely can win you a lot, win you some games. They have good leadership and all of that type of stuff. DTR, yes.
Okay.
It's DTR. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gregory. Shout out to Gregory in the chat. Appreciate you.
Yeah, DTR. That kid was balling out, and he was on fire too. I was like, I like this.
Yeah, he had him in that comeback because when I was last watching, they was losing, so I thought the Jets had it for sure.
He was making his throws. I was like, I mess with this kid heavy, but who else? Let's see here. What's
good, original people? How you doing? Shout out to you. Thanks for joining us.
The backups. the running backs, Rico Dowdle. They said
Yep.
Rico's been killing it in pass protection.
Yeah, this run game is going to be very interesting to see how if Malik Davis steps up. You know, we know Ron Jones not going to be in there in the seat, and just to see how they use Vaughn and Lipke.
Right, yeah, and you see they got my guy Deuce Vaughn. He at the bottom of the depth chart. How y'all gonna do my guy like that?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering why he ended up being right down. That's what I'm thinking.
They just going by veteran leadership, I guess. Well, like,
right.
Put my guy Deuce on the field. I'm ready to see Deuce tomorrow.
But what I'm thinking is like how you mentioned earlier, how they don't really plan on using Cavante as return. Maybe they plan on using Deuce, like maybe just to get his feet kind of going. He'll
probably definitely will get some snaps as a returner tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, they even got Malik down here doing. You think he gonna do kick returns?
Possibly. I would like to see him. There's a lot of people rooting for Malik to win that running back too. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. Because, like I said, the coaches are high on Dowdle. They've been high on Dowdle. Dowdle just keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, he does well. He does very well.
Yeah. So if Dowdle can escape, if he can escape preseason, no injury, he's likely winning that running back 2 spot. With like sprinkles of Deuce in there and Hunter Lipke, because they also. Because y'all know Hunter is fullback, but they also use Sean McEwen a lot at fullback as well.
Yeah, exactly. We saw that. We saw in the 49er game last year.
Right, they use McEwen a lot as a fullback, so it'll be interesting to see all of these guys. Defense. It's going to be interesting to see Sam Slam Williams.
Right. Actually, and they were saying, actually in one of our slides coming up in one of the battles that they. Shout out to Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. He actually tweeted about some battles that's going to be in this upcoming game where Sam Williams is actually going up against the Jags' first round pick at I believe left tackle. I believe his name is. Let me see if I can get his.
Oh, they got
Anton Harrison.
Anton Harrison. Yep, I was like, that's gonna be some snaps. I really liked Anton. Anton was definitely in my top 7 linemen coming out of the draft. So that should be interesting. I'm very hyped for Sam. I know my guy Keystone said he was looking for Isaiah Land. Should definitely.
Oh yeah, maybe in Darrell Johnson. Oh, he said actually said Ben Banogu. Yeah, and Isaiah Land. They might get them snaps.
So let's see what Dell's guys do. What's up, landlord?
What's up, landlord? How you doing? Good to see you, man.
Glad to see you. Hankins, I don't think Hankins needs to play.
No, not at all.
Love to see Mozzie. I do think they should monitor Mozzie and Luke Shoemaker because I'm like, we really kind of need them for the season. I don't want them. They're rookies. They need to get snaps, but I think they just should manage them. You know, we're seeing guys like Big Q, Quentin Bohanna. Hopefully, I also said he was on the bubble, but let's see what he does.
Yeah, because I'm actually surprised to see Gallimore ahead of Bohanna, but I think they're going to, like you said, end up competing for that spot.
Yeah, it's going to be a competition between those two gentlemen. Of course, they still got Dorrance Armstrong starting. I wish they would go ahead and get that spot.
And this is last year. I never understood that. I think maybe because they paid him.
I really wish that they would give Sam or Dante those snaps. But they still got DA there, so whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think you need to see Fowler? Do you want to see Fowler at all?
I don't.
Because I would love to stash Fowler until.
I would like to see Fowler because I really like Dan Quinn. Like, put Fowler out there. My guy Boss who's in the chat. Fowler Boss talked about how Fowler, even though he obviously had less snaps, Fowler and Sam Williams, they had less snaps, but they just had when they got on the field, they had a huge impact. Even more than DA. And again, I'm not against Dorrance Armstrong, guys. I know he's a special teams guy. He blocks punts, yada, yada, yada. I got that. But I'm just saying, when it comes to pure pass rushing specialists, I do think Sam Williams and Dante Fowler are better.
Yes, I think I even tweeted one time when I was in camp, like with one on one side and one on the other. Like, man, that's
what I'm saying. Like, to me, Doran should be the one will you rotate in. Him securing that starting spot, I just don't get it. He's just got to. At this point, I just think he's a coach's favorite, maybe. So, But another guy that I'm super excited to see, my guy Damone, because I'm hoping that Damone, we see him as the Mike tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who else? I know people are
And I
high.
think it'd be really good to see those two how well they work together, Clark and Cox.
Yes, Damone and Cox. Those are the
Yeah.
two young linebackers, guys, that I'm really praying and hoping that get meaningful snaps this season.
Yeah.
I like I said, I did a whole show on the linebackers. I'm very high on both of them. Mike has said nothing but great things about camp. I mean,
Yeah.
about Cox this whole camp.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like he's completely removed from the injury and all that stuff. So I really hope these guys, and it seems I have seen clips. I haven't really heard much about Clark, but I have heard a lot about Cox, like flying around,
Yeah.
getting tackles for loss. And then,
Yeah, because Clark, I will agree with you on that. I don't want to say he's been quiet, but I wouldn't say but I don't want to say he's been having a bad camp. He's just been, I think he's just been consistent. So I think he's still going to be one of those ones we look, we keep an eye out for this year.
Right. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited for those two.
And I'm actually excited to see Malik Jefferson as well as Overshown. Like I think Jefferson has really stepped up a lot this past off season. He's had a great camp.
Yep. People said he's had a great camp.
He
had a great
his physicality to me has stepped up a lot.
He's fast. He had a great preseason last preseason, but
and they actually ended up bringing him back. I believe at what was it, week 8, they ended up re-signing him to the practice squad, I believe, halfway through season last year.
Yeah, so I think so. So it'd be excited to see him. Of course, and the cornerbacks, Eric Scott, who's been showing out in the shot.
Right, he's been balling, yes.
Kelvin Joseph, this is huge for KJ.
Yeah. What do you think about like we just spoke on that about KJ? What do you think about Nashawn? Do you think he has a chance even say because we saw him stand up, last year, in camp and in preseason just a little bit, but we saw what happened when he got to late in the season with them game snaps. Do you think he has a leverage just from the camp he's been having? Because he's been having a pretty great camp.
He's been having a pretty good camp, but I still think for Nate, to be honest, Nikki, I think Kelvin Joseph's spot is safer than Nashawn's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because people forget, y'all, we're down on KJ because KJ was a second-round pick. I also like Devin Harper Landlord. That was another guy. I like him a lot. He was also flying around in preseason last season, but he got that Achilles injury. So we're also interested to see what he can bring to the table as well. But Kelvin Joseph is a special teams ace. He's basically being trained almost to be a CJ Goodwin.
Yeah.
And Bones is really high on him. So I pretty much earlier this week, I said, I don't know if he's going to make the roster because a lot of these highlights with the wide receivers. But I will say this, because of his special teams contribution, and like I said, we be down on Kelvin Joseph, but he almost made the play of the playoffs.
Right, exactly.
Season.
Right.
So I think because of that, I think his spot is safer than Nashawn's. I do.
Yeah, it's good to see Nashawn because Nashawn really has been having and really, if it was possible, even a better camp than last year. So I just really want to see him when he gets in these game time reps and to see if he can actually stand. Because I think, just like you said, I would think he isn't as safe if he just kind of just plays, go out tomorrow and just plays regular and doesn't have any kind of flash. If he does go out there and just kind of just he's got to ball out. He needs to. Yeah,
he's got to ball out just because, like I said, Kelvin Joseph, he has a position. He may not have a starting cornerback position, but he's got a position at least on special teams. But Nashawn's really got to show up, I think, because Eric Scott, we know he's not getting cut. That's a draft pick.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know he's making the roster. Who else did they have behind him?
They got.
So we have these.
I'm surprised they still got Goodwin at cornerback, and then behind him they got Miles Brooks. So, and they actually have I don't want to say they have a carousel like last year, but they got Redwine in there, they got Mandel. So they do have some guys who will still get some tick after Nashawn.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys. Like when you look at this safety group,
Yeah,
I was excited to see Izzy, but I feel like at this point we know what Izzy is. So I mean, I
yeah.
wouldn't mind if we don't see Izzy in the preseason. To be honest, I just think the guy's can't talk, a Swiss Army knife.
What's up, Swain? How you doing? Good to see
And
you.
I mean, what he was able to do versus the Bucks out of nowhere, like I feel like
Yeah,
we know who he is. Like he's gonna make the roster.
yeah. He definitely
I
came
would
out of
like to
nowhere.
see Marquise Bell and Junior Thomas and Tyler Coyle. Those are the guys you want to look at as far as the
Yeah,
safeties. I
yeah,
think they
yeah.
said
Thomas and Coyle had just they've been having a great camps, and I was
great
surprised
camps.
to actually
Yeah,
not see Thomas down on the return, but it's good to see him with the safeties.
right. And that's been a big one. I know because I was like, the coaches have been ran. I think that was Mike who said that Junior, I think,
Is
has been having
Wanya.
having Wanya has been having a great camp, and
Yeah.
then I think some beat writers said the Tyler Coyle. So it'll be interesting to
Yeah, yeah, I
see.
was able to get a couple snaps of
Uh,
him when I was out there in coverage, and he
right.
was working a
It'll
lot.
also be good to see Marquise Bell because I mean we were very high on him. Remember, he was the first. I think he was the first undrafted free agent we signed last
Yeah, I think it was last.
preseason.
Yeah, I think yeah,
I mean last off season,
yeah,
the 2022 off season. So I definitely want to see him as well. Him step up. I'll be watching closely the backup free safety position, even though
yeah,
we just signed Malik Hooker to a 3-year deal. I still want to see who's going to be competing behind them, and
yeah,
also Curse and Dono because we know Curse and Dono they they're going to be working through. They've every year we've had them. They've worked through injury, so
yeah.
at
Some
some
kind of
point in
injury.
time, either Junior or Bell or Coyle are going to get some snaps at some point in
Yeah,
time.
and plus Malik Hooker and also Jaron Curse are just that's why I think these safeties are just a really great group because they have these two great leaders ahead of them, and then they just I saw them. I saw a lot out there at camp that like these two really stick together a lot at practice just in general. Curse and Hooker, they're always like hip to hip. So I think just the way they kind of teach these guys, and you can even I'm sure you'll see that there when you go out to practices too in Texas. Like Curse stays on them like. He's always like, hey, like he's always challenging them, telling them to step up. He's like, hey, I
Yeah,
don't care who's next. Next person up. Like he doesn't care. Like he's always on them. So it's always good to see, just those leadership skills kind of translate to the rest of
right.
the room, and it makes the guys step their game up.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because Curse, from what you're saying and from what we've seen, like on mic'd up and stuff, Curse is the leader. But then they paid Malik Hooker, and this is the last year
Yeah,
of his deal.
yeah,
So I wonder what Dan Quinn's gonna do there because this is making me think that like they're not gonna re-sign Kurt. They might, but like people like him and Dorrance Armstrong doesn't seem
right,
like front office is too high on securing them. They may try
yeah,
to throw them a contract after this season, but it doesn't look like they're too much worried about keeping them here.
yeah,
So it does make me think about like Dan Quinn. Well, what are you gonna do? Are you going to try to get the guys behind them more acclimated to kind of
yeah,
get more snaps, knowing that
yeah. I
these
think
guys,
it depends.
yeah, I don't know how Dan Quinn is gonna play it per se, but I've always said I would love to see Jabril at the big nickel spot, but I do
Yeah,
know that right now that spot is pretty much reserved for J. Ron.
yeah.
So we're just gonna have to see how all of this stuff pans out. But
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they may just be I don't want to say wait and see, but they may be waiting to see if Dan Quinn number one is going to stick around. They're probably going to see just how at the end of the year if how maybe they may be just waiting to see if how Jaron Curse plays, and that'll determine whether or not they keep him around as well. Because we got as we've seen before, we got a lot of guys that we have to worry about paying. In the upcoming year, we already got Zach Martin hanging over our head. So I'm sure they're not. Not right now thinking about
yeah,
Jaron Curse. You know what I mean?
yeah, we got J. Ron. Probably he gonna be at the bottom of the barrel because it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's a lot of guys you have to resign. Like you have to extend Dak next season because his cap hit is out of this world. It's like 59.
Right. Right. Like
You gotta pay
million. Like,
Dak.
come on, man.
You gotta get CD's contract done. You have to get Micah's contract done. So
Yep.
those are three really high.
And still.
and Stills. I forgot about
They
Stills.
decided, yep.
And potentially, depending on what Tyler Biotish does, potentially Tyler Biotish.
Okay, and I heard Boss mention in the show last night talking about Beyonce. He's on a contract year. I think we had mentioned it earlier on one of our shows earlier this year, talking about the O line. So it's just like it's if we want to keep this O line solidified, he's one of them ones.
Actually, 3 if you want to keep Zach Martin. So that's 3 starters that you on the offensive line alone.
Right. Right.
So we got a lot.
And then in addition to having to worry about number one, what you're going to do with Tyler Smith next year, and I don't think they're going to keep Tyron around. So it's just.
I think this is Tyron's last year. So
exactly.
So and it would serve them well with the trajectory that Tyler Smith is on, it would serve them well to get ahead of the curveball with his contract as well, because I only foresee him going up. So, like Tyler Smith may make the Pro Bowl this year, left guard. And if he does that, we already saw what he was able to do as a rookie, just being thrown in at left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of guys that have to get paid after this season. It would serve them well to at least get one more of those contracts done. CD, Dax, at least one, because you don't want to have all of those guys at the table at once. Like we just named almost 5 to 6 big contracts.
Right, exactly.
So do y'all want to be dealing with all of that in one off season? I don't want to be dealing with all of that. So hopefully they work out some of these deals sooner.
Darren says Zach has a large cap hit looming too. I don't know. I think after this year, if they don't rework a contract, I think Zach Martin's a free agent.
Yeah, he has no more guaranteed money after this season. Hence why he's sitting out and he's trying to get paid again. Because if he gets hurt, right?
Exactly.
He doesn't have any guaranteed money. So that's why he's trying to solidify his money now. Mm-hmm. Which I understand. Like I get Zach Martin's point of view, but it's just the point of I done already talked about Zach Martin extensively, so I really that.
All right, Double R, be safe getting home, fam. We'll see you.
Yeah, thank you, Double R, for coming and chat tonight. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I think that pretty much covers the depth chart, guys. I think
pretty much.
The next slide.
Yeah, so like we kind of touched on it earlier, but just some guys who have to prove it or lose it. Kind of like I said in the slide, like these guys have to show up and show out in this. Maybe not even just this preseason in general. It may just be this preseason game coming up right now, because with the amount of depth we have, in my opinion, we don't necessarily have time to see players like, no offense, but Simi Fehoko, Kevin Joseph. We have depth behind these guys that we need to see, and we can't have these starters out here for 3 preseason games that they're just not getting it done.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Like, we definitely got to see these guys, and we see, you said Kavontae Turpin reps at the X to Z, but also he was getting some snaps out of the backfield, which gets me excited because and I would like to see. I know some people hated it when we put CD in the backfield. But oddly enough, every single time we put CD in the backfield, it worked, and he got like 12 yards. So I'm like, I definitely would like to see some packages with that. I would like to see packages with Turpin. I think
definitely Turpin. Definitely Turpin, Pollard, shoot, even Cooks.
Turpin,
we can have man.
Would definitely, absolutely. We would definitely like to see those guys. When you're looking at people, Cox, I agree with Cox is definitely a prove it or lose it, because like I said, if Cox doesn't get himself a meaningful role on this defense, if he doesn't, whether that be starting or you're just a staple in the rotation, I don't think he's going to be here next
too long.
I think he'll potentially be gone. Neville Gallimore.
Because we have both Clark and Overshown both on rookie contracts, and we even have undrafted trying to get playing time tomorrow.
Right. So Cox really has to show up.
Yeah.
Neville Gallimore, really, I know he did his interview and people say he's having a great camp. That's all great and dandy, but he's really got to show up.
Yeah.
He's really got to show up. And now
I agree with you, especially with them drafting Mozzie. They're gonna throw him out there. So like we talked about earlier with Golston trying to get snaps.
We got Mozzie, we got Golston, we got I know he's hurt,
Fehoko?
but eventually Junior Fehoko. So it's
Yep.
like Neville Gallimore, this is put up or shut up. We can't see
Yep.
you getting pushed on your ass any longer. Like you
Right.
got to show up. You got to be blowing up that backfield and
Yep.
and be the guy. The reason why we drafted you. Remember Neville Gallimore coming out? They call him the Canadian bulldozer.
Yes. Right.
He had that quick get off. That is just something that we haven't been able to see from him.
Right. And even that's what last year. He even had the hype video, at off season last year saying I'm about to come out and do this and that and the third.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I'm the one who put out that freaking hype video.
Right.
And him doing all looking quick like I was like,
yes.
Wow,
running around the weight room like, bro, where you at then?
It did nothing. So it's like Neville.
Nada.
This is really, if anybody on this list that I think is make it or break it, it's definitely Neville Gallimore.
Definitely.
Like, because you were a veteran that was a healthy scratch.
Yes,
multiple times.
Right.
Like we were all thinking you were about to get cut or traded in the season. So it's like
Neville, at week 8.
Yep. So Neville's really got to show up. Like,
yeah. And one thing I kind of noticed putting this list together is that a lot of these, well, as we see, like the 3 out of the 4 guys on the bottom are really coming off injury the last couple of years.
Yep, that's true. Neville, Simi got to show up.
Michael Gallup.
And
even it's not on the list, but hey, Rico Dowdle, he could have kind of a put up or shut up year coming up this year. You know what I mean?
Agree. Yeah, I agree with that too. Because if Rico Dowdle gets hurt again, they're gonna move on from him.
Yeah,
that'd be 3 off seasons in a row.
Yes,
he got hurt. At this point, we're just wasting. You're wasting our time. Yeah. No fault of his own. I mean, he can't help if he keeps getting injured. But I mean, we don't really need to keep reserving a roster spot for you when you can't play at all during the season. Like there's really,
especially when we're drafting.
Right. It's really purposeless. So Rico Dowdle, I definitely agree about Simi Fehoko. Simi's, bro, you got here, in 2021? Mm-hmm. So you were a 5th round draft pick. You got to show up. Because now you are, like I said, you already have Tolbert and Turpin ahead of you and Jalen Brooks ahead of you as far as training camp performance. Mm-hmm. So Simi's really got to show up. Kelvin Joseph, as I said, I think his spot is safe at least as a special teamer. So I don't really see Kelvin Joseph. Yeah, I don't really see him getting kicked off a bridge. I know some people say, well, what about Eric Scott? I'm like, that's all great with Eric Scott, and he can show up, but Kelvin Joseph has proven that he can be a special teams ace.
Yeah, and I know big moments in the big games.
In big moments, right. And I know he's done some knucklehead things. I know people are like, sometimes he did some knucklehead things and got penalties. But the fact of the matter is, when the game was on the line and it was time for him to show up as a special teamer, he showed up and he almost flipped the game. So I think that goes a long way with Dan Quinn. I think it goes a long way with Al Harris.
Because we even heard from, I'm gonna cut you off, but we even heard from Al Harris during camp, and he was talking about how Kelvin Joseph is still strong out there. He's saying I think he even quoted saying he's as strong as battery acid now. We don't know exactly what that meant, but hey, if he's still giving them them praise, you know what I mean?
Right. And even though I was pissed at Kelvin dropping the music videos and I wanted to see him perform better, this year, better in this training camp. But as I said, I still think that, he does mean something to the coaches, regardless of how the fans feel about him. Like I said, Key, I saw you put Eric Scott. I guess you're saying he was supposed to take CJ Goodwin's spot. Are you basing that off of just because he was like our 7th round pick, or what are you basing that off of? Let us know in the chat. But Bones Fossil literally just was speaking highly about Kelvin Joseph. So I really don't. I know we as fans want to push him off the bridge, but I don't think Bones Fossil is going to allow him to be pushed off a bridge. Because I think he values, just like DA, like those are guys that are impact players on special teams. So I don't think he's going to get rid of them or be okay with them getting cut.
If anything, I would see Kelvin. I mean, like he mentioned Eric Scott. Well, I mean, just how many years he puts in, how many years he has put in, I don't know. But I would see like you were saying, Kelvin taking CJ's spot before Eric. Like I would see Eric getting on the actual roster and actually, just like you said, keeping Kelvin around for special teams. You know what I'm saying?
Even Eric Scott, it's a smaller frame dude. It's going to take him a while before he can become like that special teams ace, gunner, big hitter, and stuff like that. In special teams, I think it will take him a while to become that. Kelvin Joseph has been in the training with that position for the past 3 years, so I don't see Eric Scott beating out Kelvin Joseph when it comes to special team impact. I mean, he could. He has been having Eric Scott has been having a phenomenal camp, so he could. I'm not saying they can't, but I do think that Kelvin Joseph, he is an impact player in that position at the very least. And he was a second-round pick, so I think the Cowboys are going to try to do all they can to keep him rather than cut him, especially if he stays out of off-the-field trouble. I think that they'll find a way to keep him around. Kelvin Joseph could honestly be like the next Anthony Brown, something like that, where we just keep him for like 7, 8 years.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
He'll be cheap to re-sign. He has a role. You know what I'm saying? So he has a role. He'll take a couple.
I think LB can get to that point too. Like he's just he fits with the team.
I think those are guys because we signed LBE to a 2-year. I think they will keep re-signing LBE. If LBE keeps re-signing for like $3 to $4 million,
he'll take it.
Steve and them are going to re-sign him every single time.
He'll take it all day. Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're not hurting us more than helping us, like Noah Brown.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, Noah Brown. Noah Brown had a career year. But I think we chose to let Noah Brown go because of just too many times he was not showing. He wasn't showing up in key big moments. Yeah. So I think, and I'm not knocking him. We know he had that special connection with Cooper Rush and things like that. But I'm just saying, like, we know how Noah Brown did not show up. So I think that's why they let him go. Because remember, we kept Noah Brown for a very long time because he just kept taking.
It was like 6 years.
Right. He just kept taking 1 to 2, 3. If the Cowboys are going to keep you around, you keep taking chump change, they'll keep you around for about 6 years. So I think as long as you stay out of trouble, they'll keep throwing you a little. Here's $2 million. Here's $3 million.
Yeah.
But all right, is this our last slide?
Yeah. All
right. So.
So we got this preseason game coming up tomorrow, and these are some of the battles we have coming up. Just some, and actually in the meanwhile, we go over this last slide. If you guys want to, point out some other battles that you guys want to see, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll go over this quickly before we get out of here. Just some main battles we have. Of course, we have like we talked about earlier, our run game. Where we're testing out our, our running backs. Our backup running backs. We know TP isn't going to be suiting up, and we know the linebackers for this Jags team, Josh Allen, I believe it's for your Sunday, Aluakon, and I'm sorry.
I'm saying Olakon.
Yeah, Aluakon, and Trayvon Walker. So these guys, like as we pointed out earlier, those guys are our starters. So we're going to be, seeing our potential backup running back, and maybe our number 3 running back, going up against these starters.
Right, and those guys are very freakish, especially Olakon and Trayvon Walker are freakish athletes. So it definitely will be interesting to see how they do against these guys, for sure. Yeah. Then we have Kurt. Jags
wide receivers and Dallas DBs. Like we were just talking about the DBs. They pretty much been in competition since last year. So we gonna see our even some fresh DBs like we were talking about Eric Scott come out here. Trying to do their thing.
Yeah, them going against Ridley will be huge. That will be a huge. Whoever is going to be lined up across Ridley, that's going to be a huge test for Eric Scott, Nashawn Wright.
I think it'll be mostly right. It might actually be right, because he has that length. So, and we know, Ridley is pretty tall too. So he might end up being lined up against them.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know if I like that matchup too much, but Nashawn.
Yeah, because actually, I think like you're about to say, Calvin Joseph. I kind of indicated here, Zay Jones when we played them last year, he had
he got his lunch 8.
100-yard game. And actually, some of them plays were on Calvin Joseph, so this might be a time for him that he might be able to redeem himself.
Right. I mean, Calvin Joseph, since he's our backup nickel cornerback behind Bland.
Yeah.
Well, according to the depth chart, he's going to be getting work against Kirk. So
right.
that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be huge as well because y'all remember
Yeah.
it was huge because Deron Bland really stepped up against Kirk last year
Yeah.
in our game versus the Jags. So it'll be interesting to see Kelvin Joseph in that slot on
Yeah.
the island. Hopefully he's able, to do better. Like I said, he has the athleticism and things like that. It's just all about can he put it together, and can
He got to get focused in.
Focus in, right? He's got to be focused in and really have that eye discipline because that's what really got him last season. Those double moves and stuff. It was the eye
and they've been
discipline.
getting him in camp too, honestly.
Yeah, but to be honest, Brandon Cooks done did something to our wide receivers because our wide receivers, how they setting up these routes and getting that separation is crazy. I'm like, dang, Michael Gallup.
Yeah, girl, you took the words out of my mouth on that. I was like, yo, and when I seen Gallup get separation, I'm like, okay.
Brandon Cooks done. I don't know what he done blessed him with the holy oil or whatever, but he got
something right.
These wide receivers out here setting people up. I mean, they are getting like lots of separations because you don't know what they doing. Like you have no idea how they setting up these routes. So
I agree with you. Like you said, it's one thing seeing CD get separation, or even like you say, even Turper Cooks. But when I seen Gal get separation again, like of course we all know it's training camp, we know it's practice, we know. I think on one of the plays that Gilmore fell where they got tangled up, each other when they were coming down for the ball. But like for him to get separation, like 2 to 3 yard separation is huge for Gallup.
Yeah, like they are really setting these cornerbacks up. So hence why y'all think, what's up, Jay Money? Glad to see you in the chat. But that's why you saw the cornerbacks getting frustrated because they've been getting killed, training camp.
Yeah, that's why it makes me so mad. Okay.
I like to point out, shout out to Trayvon Diggs, the Pro Bowler, the All Pro. Love you, Trayvon. Yeah. But them 2 picks that he got, I think he got one on CD and one on Semi. The one he got on CD didn't even jump for the ball. Like, I want to say it was over the ball, and CD jumped the ball like.
Yeah, he didn't even go for what you said.
So let's calm down about that. Number 1, and then number 2, he got it on Semi.
And he got over top Semi, so Semi didn't have a chance to get the ball.
Right, like Semi was having trouble struggling, so it's like. Let's chill. And I'm telling that to chill out on my quarterback because both of the times my quarterback threw great balls. It's like basically his wide receiver sabotaged them. So let's hope that we don't have that issue this season where our freaking wide receivers sabotaging our quarterback. Because there were so many times that Dak literally got sabotaged. Right, he got sabotaged.
Tip passes. We saw last year. Tip passes, we saw CD running the wrong route.
Literally, I did a preseason. I just put the facts out. Dak Prescott, no quarterback has as much bad luck as Dak Prescott. Him and Matt Ryan are tied because they have the most tipped or the most, I guess, turnover-worthy plays that have been intercepted. And I think they're tied at 9 since 2016. So let's also say that, like, Dak Prescott has not had the best of luck with his wide receivers. Y'all know that Michael Gallup and Noah Brown brought him in the league in separation and catch percentage last year. And people don't ever like to point out, but in 2019, Dak Prescott's wide receivers led the league in drops. So Dak Prescott has not really had great luck, but let's hope that this year he has better luck. That all of these throwing sessions and all this stuff that he's been doing has really built the chemistry between him and the wide receivers so that we don't see so much freaking sabotage.
Yeah, and that actually be another battle we see tomorrow. Like, and maybe, vice versa, our wide receivers versus, their DBs for the Jags. You know what I'm saying? We're of course not going to see our starters out there, but seeing, how Jalen Brooks steps up, seeing some of our other wide receivers step up. Moreno Cropper, right? Tyron Johnson, like we were talking about earlier, just seeing what our depth guys may have, you know what I'm saying? Just in case, God forbid we have something happen, it's a long season. We're gonna need some rotational guys eventually.
Yep. So it's a big day tomorrow, guys. I think the game starts at 4 Central.
Yeah, I think it's 4 Central. Yeah. That's when they start coverage. Yeah. 5 o'clock my time. Yep.
It's gonna be a big day tomorrow, guys. So I hope y'all y'all watching, tuning in, taking notes, because we definitely gonna dissect the game, next week, and we're gonna talk about what we saw. And I really hope, these players show up, because some of these guys, like, like I said, this is sink or swim time.
Yeah, just like you said earlier, it's about time for that
put up or shut up. Exactly. Yep. You said, put up or shut up. So I'm praying to the football guys for some of these players, because these are these kids' livelihoods too. Like this is their career, their job. They're trying to make
some of these guys are years in, and they, like you said, looking for a job. And as we see, some of these contracts aren't exactly a full career length. So some of these guys may just be looking for an extension here or there. So they fight for their livelihood.
Right. So I wish all the players the best. We hope that they don't come out with any injuries or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because as I said, we would like to maintain our depth. And just hopefully, and I'm excited. One thing we talk about, but I'm excited to see Big Mike out there calling plays. Like,
yes, be nice. I don't even know why we even talk about that,
But I thought about
it. That's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, he's gonna be out there calling plays. So
yes, I finally get a glimpse, because like we were talking about before, we know how secretive Mike McCarthy is. So just being able to see, even if it's just preseason, even if it's just watered down, regular run play, like just be able to see what Mike McCarthy
in action, just to see him in action,
yes.
and not see Kellen.
Right, and really just seeing a whole I think we'll just see like a whole different a spirit
dynamic
out there.
Yeah,
like how last year they would just we would just come out, you don't know what to expect, so you just always, I just know for me, you come out watching the game, you're on edge because you're not knowing what to expect. You don't know what Kellen's going to throw or run or
right. It's like that angst and anxiety that we had to live with for years. It's like it won't be different. It's gonna be different. And I encourage you guys to like embrace that. Like, be happy tomorrow, because it's like at the very least, like, we don't have to worry about Kellen Moore sabotaging our team.
Right.
So it's like that tomorrow, part. Like, just be happy. Like, it's just a new dynamic. And it'll be the first time we get to see just football is back, guys. So it's just
right. Common sense football is back, girl.
Yeah, football is back. Y'all flood the chats with footballs, because football is back.
Put some footballs in the chat, y'all, before we head out of here. Yeah, put some footballs in the chat.
We're excited about it. Because guys, like, we've been preparing. We've been ready for this moment.
Right.
Since we got sent home by San Fran.
Right. Since late January.
Late January, y'all. Bro. Like, we've been waiting a long time. And I think, it's exciting for us. As one thing we gotta remember, guys, we're fans. Sometimes we playing couch GM, couch coach, couch quarterback. It's like sometimes we gotta remember, like, this is a game. Yep. We are fans, and football is back. So let's be happy about that.
Yep, and we get to enjoy it.
And celebrate it and take some shots tomorrow.
Right. Also remember it's training. Just remember it's preseason, y'all. So don't freak out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, just have fun, guys. It's a preseason. It's a preseason game. So don't be, oh God, it's like we are here to see our young players, to see what they can do.
Right.
It's really,
and we can actually be excited for young players. It's not like these other games where we sitting and don't know these players' names and got to sit back and figure out what's this, that, and the third. No, we get to see our young players that we are actually confident in.
Right.
Come out against starters.
Exactly. And that's what we're looking for, guys. So just be excited about that. Don't be worried too much about the score or how many touchdowns. Like, we're not really worried about that. That's all fun and great.
Right, exactly.
That's fun and great, but it's just like, this is just preseason, guys. So don't be focused so much on the wins. Like we said, we done gone over all the battles and stuff. So y'all really should just be watching the individual players. That's what I encourage you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
See how Cooper Rush done ball. See how Will Greer. See how the backup. Like, look at the individual players to see, like, okay, who showed up, to see, okay, who do we want to make the 53? Who do we want to be on the practice squad? Like, this is just like, it's basically a scrimmage. That's how I see preseason.
Yeah, because the cuts is different this year.
Right. It's just a scrimmage. It don't matter. Preseason matters, but not when it comes to wins and losses.
Right.
It matters when it comes to how you're developing and building your roster.
Exactly.
So y'all remember that. But I think we're pretty much, that concludes our show tonight. I think.
That's the end of hopefully a fire ass show for y'all.
Yeah,
y'all,
we put it all out there, guys. So y'all be excited.
It was a Friday night edition type, girls talk
Right, we gave
type
y'all the
shit,
Friday night
y'all.
edition, day before the game.
Yep.
So y'all be excited for that. Please, like I said, like this video.
Yep.
Subscribe to
share
Mickey and I. Share this video.
Yeah,
Subscribe
share
to
to
Mickey
Twitter,
and
share to YouTube, share to IG,
IG,
or I'm sorry, share to X, formerly Twitter, but share to all social media platforms.
Yeah, share to all social media platforms. Share it to your mama's boyfriend, your mama's like I said, turn on those notification bells for both channels.
Yep.
And like, subscribe, donate to Mickey and I. We both have our Cash Apps up there on the screen. Every donation helps just grow our platforms and our channels and everything like that. And yeah, Mickey, I don't know if you have anything else to say, but you can say your
like you said, they thank for everybody coming through, checking in on us. Like I said, happy Friday. Hey, it's still early, in some parts of the world. So, make sure you guys get that drink in before you go to bed. Get ready for the weekend.
Drinking.
Exactly. Yes, like Star said, go ahead, start tonight on them shots, y'all. It's the weekend.
Exactly.
Take some for me because I gotta work in the morning. But let's believe this, around tomorrow, 4 o'clock. I'm gonna be catching up with y'all. Best believe.
Right. Exactly. It's like take a shot, celebrate. And also just special thanks to all the content creators who joined us in the chat tonight. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We know you guys are busy and got families and all that type of stuff to do, but y'all came and showed love to our platform, our show, and we really appreciate that.
We appreciate everybody coming through, spending your time. Thank you guys again for joining us at Starchasers Girls Talk Ball. Happy Friday. You guys have an excellent weekend and enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Bye.